Hi peeps, my name is Zina and I'm aging ethically, and I'm so excited to share with you guys today my collection of palettes. Now these are all vegan and cruelty free. They're various price ranges. Some of these were gifts, most of these I've purchased. We are going to begin today with an independent company known as Jeffree Star Cosmetics. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I've purchased 3 palettes from his company and I enjoy them thoroughly. They are not inexpensive, but they're worth it. This is the Jeffree Star Alien palette, and aesthetically, number one, the coolest palette I've ever purchased in my entire life. But the color scheme is really fun. The pigmentation is outrageously good. The creamy mattes and shimmers, and it's fantastic. And I love this palette so much. So I'm kind of starting off with one of my ultimate favorites. Brand new to my collection is the lovely Jawbreaker palette. I have barely scratched the surface of this palette. Look at these colors. Really wonderful. I mean, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. You can't find these colors in just any old palette. It was worth the money. I believe it was $55, but I'm going to use, love, cherish, adore this palette for a very long time. If you're into red tones, you want to get this palette if you can. This is the Blood Sugar palette. The formulation of this palette is ridiculous. The mattes are creamy, the shimmers are just delightful, really highly pigmented, and just unbelievably good. Now we're going to switch gears and go the more affordable route, which is BH Cosmetics. This is a fun palette that I use quite often, the Classic Blush 10 Color Blush Palette. And you can use this as blush, you can use this even to contour, and it's really wonderful. BH Cosmetics are very affordably priced. They are always having sales, constantly. I think they're always on sale. So if you check out their website, you can buy these palettes super cheap. Supernova, this is one of the first palettes I've ever purchased. I've had this for a long time and I always reach for this palette when I need a shimmer, and like a fun colored shimmer at that. Great palette. A couple of collaborations. This is the Daisy Marquez palette. I purchased this not really caring what the pigmentation was like. I bought this because the top is magnetized, but it comes off completely, and then you insert it into this little slot, and it's like a vanity. You have like a little makeup vanity. How cute is that? The colors are fun, not highly pigmented, but buildable. You can definitely create some really fun looks with this palette. Again, not the most pigmented palette I've ever purchased, but really cute, super fun packaging. The Marvy Corn palette. This is from Marvin the Magnificent. He's a YouTuber, collaborated with BH Cosmetics, made this cute little unicorn palette. Ooh. Guys, this is so cute. The highlighter shades are really great. The pigmentation was really cool. Really fun palette. I use this to create one of my unicorn looks, and I really enjoy this palette. Super fun. Pacifica Beauty. This eyeshadow palette is beachy punk. Again, not crazy pigmented, very buildable. This is a very sort of pedestrian neutral tones, the no makeup look. Fun little eyeshadow palettes, mineral packed. I think it's like infused with coconut water, so this one was cool. My only Tarte eyeshadow palette is this Sex Kitten palette. This one's great for creating like a really sexy smoky eye look. It smells like cocoa. So one of my favorite things about the palette is the scent, and this highlighter right here that comes on this palette is bomb. This is one of the best highlighters I've ever used. So this is from Tarte, fun little Sex Kitten palette. You guys, the very first palette I've ever purchased, right here in my hand. I purchased this palette because I watched the Jeffree Star videos. When I first started watching like tutorials and influencers on YouTube, it was Jeffree Star, and he used this Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit palette, and particularly he was really fond of this purple horseshoe purple highlighter. You guys, if you use any Anastasia Beverly Hills products, you'll know how wonderful the quality is. And the highlighters here are so great. I was so excited, and this palette right here really sort of ignited my love of makeup, and I am going to cherish this palette for quite a long time, and it's expired, but I still love it and I still play with it from time to time. This is the Wet n Wild dupe of that very same palette. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Palette, and it has the same kind of shades. Like you have a sort of like a purple blue and a green and peach, but this one's is sort of like glittery, and it is the drugstore version of that Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. It performs quite well, and it's a fun palette to have around. This is my only palette from Too Faced. This is the Clover palette. It comes in like a tin sort of packaging. It has a little narwhal and these cute little characters and little food items, you know, strawberries, and you have like chocolate bars and stuff, and it's so cute. The color scheme is very muted, very neutral, sort of office look. The pigmentation isn't grand. It is very buildable, but you have to kind of work at it to create a super pigmented look. But why I loved this was because Too Faced donated some of the proceeds from the sales of this palette to animal charities, and I thought that was wonderful. So I bought it too for the narwhal. Two palettes that I do use quite often, which are drugstore, are from NYX. This is the NYX Ultimate Brights palette. You guys, I use this all the time. Halloween, year round, whenever I want to look with some color, I go to this palette. I barely dented these pans, and I've had this forever. It's very long lasting, I will say that. And it's a great, great palette to have if you're into creating fun, unique looks. I highly, highly recommend this palette. This is the NYX Highlight and Contour palette. I use this for everything. I use this for my eyes. I use this obviously to contour. I use these shades to set at my foundation. This is a very subtle highlighter, which is like a no makeup look highlighter that you can use every single day. I reach for this palette every day, and sans, you know, mascara and eyeliner and lipstick, this is a completed makeup look. Pure Cosmetics. You guys, Pure Cosmetics creates some of my most loved products. I really adore this company, and these palettes I'm about to show you are some of my favorite in my collection. This is the BoxyCharm and Pure collaboration, and this was a lovely palette of neutrals, some fun little colors here, really nice shimmers, very nice pigmentation. This palette, you guys, this palette, this is the Pure Visionary palette, and oh my goodness, these shimmer shades up here are ridiculous. They're so good. They're so creamy. They're long lasting. These matte shades are creamy as well and so highly pigmented. You can pop these out. They're magnetized. Put them in your little Z palette. This is a superb palette right here. It's outstanding. This is, I love this palette so much. This is the Pure Cosmetics and Dr. Seuss The Grinch palette. I bought this at Christmas time last year, and I love it. I cherish this palette so, so much. You open it up, and you're immediately in Whoville with this sort of pop-up packaging, and you pull out the palette, and it's heart-shaped, and it is just so cute, so versatile. This is a super high impact highlighter right here. You have a really lovely blush. You have pressed glitters, some shimmers, super creamy mattes. And then of course, there is this mood lipstick. This guy right here is super fun, and it sort of transforms to, like, you can see right away, into like a pink, sort of a hot pink shade lipstick, and so cute. Now, we're going to the serious part of this video. We're going into the vault of my makeup purgatory, which contains my Kat Von D collection. I used to use Kat Von D products very, very often. I loved her palettes very, very much, and I loved her lipsticks, her liquid lipsticks. But there has been some controversy with the Kat Von D name, and some of the controversy I'm not really willing to look past, because she, I don't know. It's a topic for another day. It's actually something I've covered in videos before, but I'm not really willing to use Kat Von D's products on my videos right now, and that may change in the future, but for now, they are some of the most beautiful palettes that I've ever purchased or I've ever received as gifts. These are expired products, so I can't sell them. I don't really want to give them away, so I'm just going to hold on to them in my collection. This is the Kat Von D Alchemist Holographic Palette, and it's kind of hard to differentiate the different shades here, but this is a really, really nice highlighter palette. The pans are very tiny, but they were very powerful, pigmented highlighters, and really cute packaging too. And Kat Von D's packaging, all of her packaging is cool. I think she creates the packages herself with her artwork, and she is a very gifted tattoo artist, regardless of her controversies. Can't take that away from her. She is a very, very skilled artist. This is her pastel goth palette that I loved so much. As you can see, got a lot of use. I didn't really use this gray shade so much, but I used the heck out of these. Really, really fun pastel shades, highly pigmented. This is her Shade and Light palette. Oh my gosh. This was the palette that I used almost every single day. Kind of like how I use the NYX contour palette now. This is how I used to use this Kat Von D palette. So I hit pan here, and yeah, this was a great concept for a palette. It was very, very useful. Probably my favorite palette of hers is the Serpentina palette. This was the Egyptian sort of themed palette. You can see there's an ankh there, and very beautiful palette. The color scheme is just absolutely gorgeous. This is a loose pigment here that was really high powered pigment. Really, really, really super, super pretty palette. Von D Metal Matte palette. This is the only palette of hers that I ever had a problem with, actually, because I had a hard time blending these mattes. They would be like sort of patchy. I don't know if you've ever applied eyeshadow and you just can't get the color to stick on your skin in like one particular spot. Well, this palette used to do that to me all the time. The shimmers were always great. I remember using the shimmers quite often, but the mattes were not formulated too well. But I mean, look at all the colors you get here. This is a huge palette. One of the most beautiful palettes in my collection. This is the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. It looks like a cathedral door, and it is just gorgeous in presentation. The colors were really kind of fun and unique. You know, you didn't see a lot of these colors in palettes, so it was kind of fun to play with these. I remember at the time when this palette came out, a lot of different beauty gurus on YouTube said they didn't like the placement of the colors, like it could have been organized a bit better. But I'll tell you what, one of the most aesthetically gorgeous palettes I've ever seen in my entire life, and really, really pretty. Finally, we're going to end this video with my favorite palettes. These I purchased from independent companies. Now, I started off with Jeffree Star. He's probably one of the most wildly popular independent brands. You know, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, everyone is talking about that, especially on YouTube. But these companies that I'm going to show you, you may or may not have heard of, that are absolutely magnificent, and really, you really should investigate and make some purchases from. Of course, Baby Bad Beauty. I just recently did a video with Baby Bad Beauty. I love this palette. This is the Luna palette. Aesthetically so cute because it's shaped like a bat. Cardboard, so it's biodegradable, so it's great for the environment. Cool tones, warm tones. This lovely orange is going to be used quite a bit as we enter fall season. And really fun company. And when you order from them, they send you stickers. She has lots of little sales on her Instagram account. You should go check it out. Lovely company, and I absolutely adore the gothy vegan goth sort of aesthetic of this company. The Nubian Mini by Juvia's Place. This is not the full-size palette, this is the mini palette. This is the palette I used to create this look today. I love it so much, you guys. The mattes here are outstanding. This shimmer shade is so unbelievably good. The most beautiful palette I've ever purchased would be Feral by Menagerie Cosmetics. Look at this palette. The little fairies and the wolf and the little forest scene. So beautiful. It's weighted, it's cardboard, it's biodegradable, it's magnetized. You can pop these pans out, put it in a Z palette. The pigmentation is crazy good, you guys. The color scheme is so much fun. It's so bright. This green shimmer right here is so good. There are neutral tones here if you want to do like an everyday look. You could do a little more extravagant look with these shades here. The greens are magnificent. I love this palette. My absolute favorite of my entire collection is this palette right here. I have a special surprise and treat for you guys because I've never shown this palette on this channel before. This is a company from the UK. It is called Cult Candy Cosmetics. This palette is the Playhouse palette, and oh my gosh, look at this color scheme. You guys, look at the colors here. I have barely played with this palette. I think I just swatched it once. I haven't even created a full look with this yet. I can't wait to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but what I do know is that I love it so much. How fun is this? And I'm so excited. I think it was around $40. I can't wait to use it, you guys. It's one of my favorite Instagram accounts, so do check out Cult Candy Cosmetics on Instagram. She, the founder of this company, posts the coolest pictures, and the artists, the looks that they create with this palette are so great. So do check out Cult Candy Cosmetics. Really fun company, and do stay tuned because I will be using this palette in the future. I'm so excited to end this video with indie brands. I think it is so important to shop small, shop independent, and to support these creators because they really are making wonderful cosmetics, and it's important to share them with the world. I am traveling right now. It's Friday, I'm posting this video, but I'm actually traveling to New Jersey and I'm going to a family reunion, and I haven't seen some of my family members from my father's side in many years, some of whom I've never met. So I am so super excited to see them, and hopefully by Monday I'll be able to share some of that footage with you guys as well if I can edit it fast enough. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I had a lot of fun filming this video of my palette collection with you guys. Oh, share down below, comment, let me know what your favorite palette is that you've ever purchased, and let me know what your favorite palette is that I've shown you here today. Maybe one that you've had a good or bad experience with, or one that maybe you want me to feature in an upcoming video. I would love to read your comments, and I love interacting with you guys down in the comment section. So do feel free to comment whatever it is that comes to mind. While we're on the subject of sharing, do share this video. I appreciate it so much. Like, and please subscribe. I would love for you guys to join my little family. I hope this video brought some joy to your Friday, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!